understand. So it'll be a quiet show. But anyway, so yes, there's another episode here of Bell and Company. And I always say we have a good show, but we have a really awesome show talking about a wonderful charity. I want to give them as much time as possible, so we can just jump right in. Normally we take a quick break, but we won't do that. We're gonna get right to the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about. I want to welcome two guests, husband and wife, Robert and Teresa Phillips. Hello, how are you?
Oh, fine. Thank you. Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
Thanks for making it down. I was worried that maybe people would get stuck, but we all made it here, and that's great.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be a little late because just all of a sudden the traffic slowed down, like you said.
Yeah, it's just, you know what, it's not even the storm. I know there are a lot of people going towards the airport. For people from Chicago, I'm talking about 90 both ways going in and out. You never know what you're going to get. Most people in Chicago know better and take the bus or the train, but you know what? I'm from the suburbs. I like my car, so I'm sure you guys do too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I ride a bike everywhere. So
yeah, Libby likes to ride her bike, so she's pretty good. She's environmentally friendly. But not me. I'm driving everywhere. But yeah, we've all made it in. That's good. We have a guest who probably won't be on the mic, but I just want to acknowledge that they're here. We have Alan and his wife Linda are in the background. They're videoing for Facebook, so they're here as well. And he was the one that told me about this wonderful charity. And that's why I want to make sure we have enough time to talk about everything that's going on and how you guys got involved. But I want to know about you too. So first of all, let's talk about your background.
I was in the Air Force for a total of 30 years, and I was on a couple different airplanes, big airplanes. I got like 5,000 flying hours.
Wow, a few airplanes, right?
Yeah. Well, I was on Air Force One, one of the Air Force One planes, and I was also on an air refueler. Which, if they're watching Air Show today, they'll know.
They're over there. Oh, that's another thing that's going on. In the middle of all these storms, we got the Air and Water Show all weekend, so that definitely brought a lot of people out to Chicago for sure. But you were on. Well, those are fighter jets. Were you on a fighter jet too?
No. I was on the 747.
The big ones.
Yes, right. I never worked on anything smaller than 4 inches.
Oh God, that's funny.
That's what she said.
Rim shot. Maybe the effects aren't working. Anyway, but wait, you mentioned something about Air Force One. Tell us about that.
Well, actually, the platform I was on was the E-4B. It's based out of Offutt Air Force Base. And it actually is the plane that's always where Air Force One's at. Where is backup?
Oh, really?
And his main.
Are we supposed to talk? Well, I guess everybody knows about it now, right?
Yeah. You can actually look it up online and look up the E-4B, and they'll tell you all about it, how many there are, all that good stuff.
Well, I know there's like Air Force 1 and 2, so this is like 3?
Air Force 1 and 2 are the actual ones that are actually in Washington, D.C.
All right.
We're based out of, we're at used to be the SAC headquarters, which was in Offutt.
And where was that again?
Offutt Air Force Base, which is in Nebraska.
Oh, got it. Nebraska, yeah.
Middle of the country.
Wow, that was fun. And you did that for 30 years, you're saying?
Yes. Well, actually, I was in NATO for like 3 years prior to that, and then I actually got on 135s when I first joined in 1981, and then I got posted over to England, and then. From England, that's where I ended up at Offutt Air Force Base, and I never got off Offutt. And there's a saying they always said: once you get to Offutt, you never get off it. So my goal was actually trying to get back to Washington State, but I never got no closer to Nebraska.
You made it. Well, you made it halfway across, right?
Yeah.
That's not a bad place to be based. So,
but he was in several campaigns.
Did you? I was going to say you went overseas too. You weren't just based in Nebraska,
right? Well, in any conflict, and even ones that they probably don't talk about, or you don't hear too much about, anything from Panama. You remember when they went into Panama, and all the way through the beginning of Afghanistan. It was It was my frame of service right there.
The Panama one did that have something to do with the arms hostage trade, the Iran Contra thing, or that was something separate?
It was a little after that.
That was after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it in the 90s?
Yeah, it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's when we went.
Oh, actually, it was in the 80s.
In the late 80s, but I think
just before remember the barracks that got bombed in Lebanon?
Yeah, I was going to say
my God, yeah.
that's when. Oh, yeah, the mic. That's when. didn't we get rid of? We deposed a leader, right, in Panama. It had something to do with that, didn't it?
Yes, that's right. Noriega, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember that. I do. That was a big. Actually, that was mentioned in the news quite a bit. Actually,
That one was, but and so was the after the barracks got bombed too in Lebanon and that kind of stuff. So I was overseas.
I was little, but I remember that too.
A few when I was on my first airplane, I was actually in Saudi Arabia for a long time. I mean, my first base I was stationed at for 6 years. I was only there maybe 3.
Oh.
Maximum. I was gone the whole other time, 3.5 years.
So the planes you're on, so you're in like the B-52s as well? No, that same plane, everywhere you were.
Thank God I wasn't on B-52.
Oh, all right. Well, they're bombing everybody, right? So,
But they're a nice airplane, and you got to realize that's going to be into active duty until the 2050.
wow.
I mean, that's a long time.
That plane's been around. That's like 80 years, right?
Well,
70, something like that?
Yeah, I think that plane's the only one that's been actually. You can have grandfather, father, and son that are actually worked on maybe even the same plane.
The same plane, right?
Yeah.
That is wild. It's amazing how we can build stuff to last, or at least we used to, right? I don't know about today's armed forces, but
Have you seen a B-52? It's amazing that thing flies, okay? It looks like a big old dress.
it is big. I know. I've seen them at the shows, and I was like, "Wow, that's like the commercial jets. What is it? The Airbus A47, 747, or whatever. It's big like that. So
Yeah, no, I tried to do pilot things on the internet, or on games, and I could never land that plane.
even on the simulation, huh?
B-52, I could, but I couldn't do the big commercial airplanes because they're just.
What was your role on the plane? Were you
I was a mechanic.
Oh, you were the mechanic.
I was a head
Okay.
mechanic on most of them once you got qualified. So I took around a team. When I got onto the E4, I was with a team that traveled with the plane everywhere it went, wherever we went.
I was going to say they need to bring you with probably because on the fly you're in there fixing you're like the engineer in Star Trek kind of.
Right.
It's kind of hard to fly with him when he can tell you every single thing that's wrong with the plane.
Oh, wow. That'd be fun to hear. You know what? I hear that little rally.
I hear it sometimes at home.
Oh, jeez. So and that other voice, that's your wife, Teresa. Did you guys happen to meet? I didn't even ask off the air. Did you meet in the military?
No.
Okay, after the
We
military.
met at a wedding.
At a wedding?
Yeah.
For another person in the military?
No, actually, no. It was a
It's his
cousin,
niece.
her cousin, and then my niece.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
So did you kind of know her before then?
No.
You seen her around? No?
no.
Wow, okay. That's pretty cool.
It's sort of a short thing.
But you
I didn't
obviously
have
had time to court each other. You weren't always flying with the plane. Obviously, they gave you time off.
No, by the time I met Teresa, I was actually done flying.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but he was in reserves.
Yeah.
And then you get into the
And
reserves.
he had
Yeah.
a few calls at the house.
Making sure I had all my uniforms,
Yeah,
just in case.
he had to be on wait time
Well,
for 10 years.
after 30 years, but when you re-sign, don't you have to do like inactive for 6 years or 4 years, whatever it is?
That's what
8
he
years was
was.
inactive.
But you've
Okay.
got to be prepared to go.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just got to stay in shape, have the uniform
Have
pressed,
the uniforms, yes.
get all the tools. Well, they give you the tools, I'm guessing, but maybe not. You got to have your little toolkit.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They really.
you too.
That's wild. That's interesting. So, okay, well, that makes sense that this would be something that you would want to get involved with. So let's. Well, no, we didn't talk about Teresa. So your background. Let's get into your background.
My background isn't as impressive as his.
Oh, come on.
I'm a pastor of a church and always wanted to join the military. My father would never let me.
Really?
Yeah, he said no. He was a World War II airplane crash survivor.
Oh,
And my
he was
grand-
probably drafted for World War II.
No, actually, he actually lied to get in.
Oh, he wanted to join. Good for him. Good for him.
He lied about his age and he lied about his hearing because he could read lips so well.
Really?
And so he was in the Panama. He was in the not Panama. What is it? The
Guadalcanal?
Pacific.
Pacific.
He
Oh,
was
the
in-
Pacific.
He was in Pacific campaign when he was in an airplane crash.
Wow.
And my mother actually got his dog tags and was ready to, get married again because they had had a funeral for him to have 2 years later have someone show up at the door and say, your husband's at Great Lakes
Right.
Naval Base.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's a great story. I'm thinking about writing it out with my sister. She doesn't know that yet, so if she ever listens,
She doesn't know that she's going to be the co-author yet,
yeah,
huh?
she doesn't know that we're gonna help fabricate this story because it should be a movie. Because we still don't know how much was fabricated because they always tell the story differently.
Yeah, right.
But,
And what,
you know, it was
if you tell
quite
the
a
story
story.
100 times, you get 100 different answers. Right.
The goal was I always wanted to serve, and I couldn't serve, but now I serve by doing the national anthem all over the place.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, so I love doing that, and I serve my country by honoring our veterans with Operation Gift a Vet, which was started in honor of his full retirement. We actually, and I'm
Well, wait, let's talk. That's different than the organization we're talking
no,
about
that's
today?
Be a Hero to a Hero.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. That's like, oh,
When-
okay.
You should pay attention.
But when it's an activity like at this time of year as we get ready for Christmas, it's now called Be a Hero to a Hero, Operation Gift a Vet. We are now
Oh, that's
in
it.
Operation Gift a Vet.
We're in the period of Operation Give for
Yeah.
Be a Hero to a
Be
Hero.
a Hero to a Hero.
Yeah, and I actually I stole the idea.
You didn't steal it. You just saw
I
it,
was being
and
another
I
guy
jumped on
visiting
it like
veterans at Heinz,
crazy.
the paraplegics that were in Heinz, and
Yeah.
we seen them. A group bring stockings down to the veterans there, and we didn't have nothing like that out where we were at. So I said, you know what, maybe we can do that. And so
Is
we
it still there? I thought Heinz even closed or something.
no,
they're still there. Okay. Because I remember there was a time where there's
so big.
Oh, yeah, well, I just remember hearing something about
It's
that.
actually
They're
expanding.
losing fun. Oh, good.
A lot of things are expanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had
need
a
that.
lady in our church, and I can't remember her name right off. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Well, she got a hold of the White House, and she wanted a flag that had flown at the Capitol or the White House to be given to Rob for his retirement. And they said, no, we don't do that anymore.
Oh,
And she nagged and nagged and nagged, and he got the last flag that Barack Obama, former
Oh, wow.
President Barack Obama, would allow out. And so we had.
I wonder why they stopped doing that. They don't have enough flags?
They
What?
do now, but it
Oh.
was in his term
Okay.
that they had stopped that for whatever reason we don't know, and it's right now we really don't care. But
You got one. That's all that
he got
matters.
the last one,
Yeah.
and we had some veterans come in and help present that flag and folded it and gave it to him as the last flag flown in that administration that was given out. And in the meantime, we had had a little meeting at church, and we had tried so hard to have different missionary outreaches. And nothing ever seemed to click with this congregation until his retirement. And when we saw that the stocking was given and there was a response, that first year we did 28 stockings. We are now we have done up to 1,300 a year, but
Whoa.
COVID knocked that back. And so now we're coming back again, even stronger. And we're coming back this year with about 1,100 stockings that we need to fill for our veterans that are medically confined. These are not just veterans, these are medically confined veterans that are in facilities and homebound that don't want to go to a facility. And
Understood,
we bring
yeah.
them stockings every year.
That's wonderful. That's a lot of. Do you do it? The two of you must have a little staff to help.
Well, actually, we only have a handful of people actually that help us put everything together. At
least you have some.
Fluctuates year to year, but it's the delivering of the stockings that really takes the biggest time because you have to travel around to all the facilities and.
You're not just going to Heinz. You're going all over.
No, well,
We do Heinz, but we get to drop them off.
well, actually, there's a VVA, Vietnam Veterans Association, that meets at my post actually in St. Charles. Just started asked to take stockings last year. So we made them for them, of course, and then they took them down there. So at least I didn't have to go to Heinz. But we've been as far as Manteno.
Oh,
And a lot of places in there. Obviously we don't hit every nursing home and every assisted living or whatever because it's just really almost impossible.
there's a lot of them, right?
Alone, we have
Yeah.
22,000 veterans. So we can't.
Damn, that is huge.
We can't. Illinois has close to 800,000 veterans.
You're hitting like the north and the suburbs kind of thing, but you went to Manteno too. But
Yeah, and
you're a
we did
Chicagoland
because
area.
There's
Cherry.
a couple
Yeah.
in our church that live near Manteno, and that's why we did that. And after we did Manteno for, I don't know, a few years,
4 years about.
they said, we don't need you to come, the community is coming out. And so we're really blessed by that because that means that we made an impact somewhere.
I see.
And-
so were you doing this even when you talked about your dad's story? Were you helping him before he became a minister, pastor of the church?
Well, actually, what I did is because my father used to be head of civil defense. It was before it was called ESDA or whatever. And my father would have me come in, and he would have me do things with the civil defense unit, which was always kind of cool. And of course, we had no choice but to be Boy Scouts because my father was chief scout executive.
Okay.
So we went to
well, now everybody. I mean, now it's girls and Boy Scouts,
we
right?
went to Boy Scout camp before we ever went to Girl Scout camp, and we hated it at Girl Scout camp. So we begged him to let us go back with the boys because then we could hunt and fish and do all the good stuff instead of sew and clean and cook. And
Oh, wow, I never realized it was that segmented. The boys did like the hunting, fishing, the women did like the homemaker stuff. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so we learned how to swim and everything else with the Boy Scouts, which was kind of cool. But then
Well, you were way ahead of your time because it's been now
well,
integrated for what,
listen,
2-3 years,
I've been
whatever,
a pastor
5
for
years.
36 years, and that was when women didn't do what I do. So yeah. And then in the meantime, because of his service, I felt like I really wanted to serve, and I would always feel really guilty that I didn't get to serve because my dad wouldn't let me. And now I serve by being the chaplain and vice president of the American Legion Auxiliary.
That's awesome.
And I have been district chaplain, which was a real incredible honor to be asked to do that when I did. So that helps keep me focused for when we have to do Operation Gift of Vet, because there's a strategic way in which we do that. We have someone make the calls, we make the time of delivery, but we now are at that point. And if any of you are listening and want to help with Be a Hero to a Hero, go to beaherotoahero.com or .net and check us out, because right now we're getting ready to start collecting. We need toiletries, travel-size toiletries. We need T-shirts.
You start early. I mean, it's August and you're already getting
We
ready.
have to start filling before Thanksgiving because
Right.
the first drop to the first facility is the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Oh, so you guys don't even take a break on Thanksgiving. You're maybe eating turkey on the run.
No, we get Thanksgiving Day,
You
and
do?
then,
Okay.
then right after that, we are in the parade for the Christmas parade for St. Charles, Illinois, giving a tap out for St. Charles, Illinois. Yay, God! And we love St. Charles because they do a lot for veterans. We really do.
The city does. What about,
Yeah.
doesn't Ron Onesti do a lot too with his
Ron
theater?
Onesti is phenomenal.
Yeah, yes, he's a really good guy.
He's
actually
at
had
he's at Taylor Street right now in the middle. Well, it was in the middle of rain yesterday, but he's
he
running that.
actually cooked for Operation Gift of Vet while we were filling stockings at the Arcada Theater one
Wow.
year.
Just once he did it, or every year he does
No,
it?
he did do that for us, but it's hard for us to haul everything up 2 flights of steps and then fill and then bring it down and haul it back. We had a hard time doing that. So our church.
Well, it's an old theater. They don't have elevators, I don't think.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, do they now?
Yes,
Okay, they
do.
probably had
Yes,
installed
they do.
them later on.
Our
Okay.
Yeah, he
church
did.
totally dismantles after the Thanksgiving service. Totally dismantles. The chairs get put off to the side, tables get brought in, and we invite people to come in and help us fill
So the
stockings.
service for that time is you're helping with the charity
We
now.
still
You're-
have church, but we now
you do?
have church in an atmosphere of filling stockings. We still have Sunday
Wonderful.
morning. We put chairs to get it up, but
So say the prayers and then help move
Yep.
move the stuff around,
Yep.
get it ready.
Yep.
I mean, you mentioned that number. Is it every year you're at? What was how many? Did you say 80,000? What did you say?
This year is going to be close to 1,100.
1,100.
Yeah.
Where am I get thousands? Oh, the vets, the amount of veterans. Yeah, but wow, that's still a lot. That's covering. And so let me be clear on that. 1,100
Stockings.
stockings. So each person of that 1,100 gets one stocking.
Yes,
Yeah.
and if there's a spouse or a wife that's actually in the facility too, we actually give them a stocking as well.
Yeah, we make extras
So is it-
just in case.
And the door drops to do if we know they have again a spouse, we make sure they get a stocking too. So we make sure the family's covered there. So
It
And
seems
our
like a lot of work for just
auxiliary
1,100, but I bet you a lot of people are like, oh, they didn't come to my place and give me one.
Well, we've got to know about you.
Okay.
Even the auxiliary unit 342 in St. Charles, we have one member of the auxiliary that's been a member for over 80 years.
Oh,
And she gets a stocking. And
If she's been a member, she's got to be like 100 years old or something.
she's almost
Pretty close.
She started
Wow.
as a junior member at about 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, okay. All right.
we're
So in her
talking-
90s.
We're
Wow.
talking some people that have really been an asset to our community and to our veterans altogether. And so our veterans, it's a real honor for us to give back to these guys because they've put so much on the line for us. And when I think about what my father went through,
Yeah, he was. I'm glad they got him. They found him at least. Thank God for that.
Actually, it was a Jap that found him.
No
And
kidding.
had a gun to his head and he fainted, so they picked up his body and threw it somewhere, and the French found him.
Oh,
And then the French picked him up and they carried him somewhere, and he had been burned over 3/4 of his body. He went down with the plane because his wedding ring got caught on the parachute.
Oh, wow.
oh no
But
kidding.
everybody else that went down with him, so the story has been told, they were all executed.
So you know that part. He may have mentioned that to you. Well, I unfortunately got stuck, right? I mean, you know that part of the story from from your
The
dad.
night and hearing the screams of, we watched our father suffer PTSD before we ever
Before
found
they even
out
know what that was, right?
Yeah, and we children, we didn't know until later that we were actually secondary PTSD because we would get terrified.
Over what he's going to do, right? Or his reaction.
Yeah, because his reaction was, all of you are Japs.
I mean, I'm glad that the
Yeah.
Japanese officer let him. Well, he probably thought if the person
No, he
was dying,
thought
like
he
you
was
said, he
dead.
threw his body.
They thought he was dead.
Oh.
And so he ended up in a mud pit, which actually put out the fire and saved his life.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Lord works in weird ways, doesn't he?
did. Well, he didn't, he wanted me here.
There you go.
You see?
There you go. Yes.
He wanted to have the doctor, Teresa, with us to do
Yeah.
to do
And to
your
help
ministry.
with these veterans, because watching even what Robert went through and some of these other veterans, they deserve to be recognized. And Rob, tell about the man who gets the Beanie Baby every year.
There's one guy we see.
Beanie Babies are important,
Every
people.
year.
We need them.
Beanie Babies?
Yes.
Yes, Beanie Babies. The actual Thai ones have to be those. You can't get the
old Thai.
Disney ones and those.
Oh, I didn't know they have offshoots.
Yeah, they're-
You know, he's based in the suburbs here in Chicago.
Yeah, we
Well, they
try to
didn't
contact.
respond, but you never know.
You never
someday.
know. Someday maybe they will.
Oh,
So then we
Really?
get some donations from them. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, Beanie Babies are necessary, the original Beanie Babies, because they can go in the microwave or the freezer. So they become either a warm heating pad for a sore arm or a leg, or they can be an ice pack. They can fit under a knee, behind the neck, under a shoulder.
you mentioned that off the
Didn't know
air. So again, it has to be the specific brand from the guy that's based in Westmont, started in Oak Brook, Westmont
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Know all about him. My friends worked for him, not me, but my friends had worked for him many years ago. Well, shout out to Thai Beanie Babies. We need more Beanie Babies
Yes,
for this
we do.
charity.
We need those
For
Beanie Babies.
Be a hero to a hero.
Thank
But
you for
again,
Thai.
it must be the fabric they make these out that maybe
I
the
think
Disney
it's
ones
the
are made of.
beans. I
think
think
it's
it's
the
what's
beans on the
in them
inside, yeah.
can withstand the refrigeration and the
Microwave.
microwave.
Yeah.
So talk about that guy.
I would have never known that you would want to microwave or freeze a Beanie Baby, but okay.
If you put cotton in a microwave, eventually it's going to catch fire. Okay. So-
Anything would after a while. It's,
Yeah, it's only like
internal
for a few
combustion.
seconds, but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
enough.
it does. But not the
enough.
beans. You don't have to put it in very long. As we were talking about earlier, just a few minutes ago, was this one guy we see every year is actually we're the only people that see him.
No, okay, has no interaction, not even like nurses or
He was
anything.
dropped there by his
Well,
family.
nurses at the facility.
Other than the
but-
facility, he was dropped there by his family, and nobody comes sees him. We're like his main visitors every year. So.
Dropped by his family. It just sounds so horrible.
Well,
he
that's
has no
basically what it
family.
is. He has no, or if he has family, they don't come see him. So, he's not the only person that we see that. I mean, obviously some have their family members and friends around to come see him, but we actually are hitting these people by, they may not have anybody outside the facility that they see anymore.
You know, it's funny
don't think
you're
that.
saying that now, but isn't that what the case was? I guess we weren't too happy with the military members back in right after the Vietnam War, and everybody kind of felt that. I don't know if you experienced that. That might have been a little early on in your service where you came back. Were you in Vietnam?
No. I
didn't think so.
I was just after the rescue.
I was going to say you're
rescue.
you're not old enough to have been in Vietnam, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Whereas the country didn't exactly welcome home the troops, like in World War II, for instance. You see that famous picture of World War II. They're in Times Square.
Right,
they're
right.
kissing each other. That didn't really happen in the 1970s, I don't think.
And actually, when I got out in the 2000s, when I went to apply for my first jobs, they didn't. They really said, I don't care what you did. You're basically like a little. Although I had this management experience, and I was like, nah, you're just a.
The military service didn't
No.
help you?
Not at the time. They didn't have very good transition. Once I got out, I was there for I had 2 weeks to fill out all my paperwork, some outgoing briefings, and they didn't really give us anything to adjust into life. Now that's changed now. Okay, to be transitioned out, because once you've been in the military, it doesn't matter which branch, it's always ingrained in you somehow. And there's some things I do that just drives my lovely wife nuts sometimes, because that's just the way we did it, and you don't even realize you do it.
Wow.
That's all
I
I
would
did.
not know that. I looked at going into the National Guard, and there was a lot of things going on back then. This was right after the events of 2001, basically. And then again, I tried doing it after I was in Las Vegas for a while. I moved back, and I forget what event made me think about doing it. I like the fact that they help you with schooling, and you're helping locally. I didn't know that they ship you overseas. I didn't catch that part in the
You didn't get the memo?
swearing in. No, I didn't. So not luckily. I mean, I kind of am upset I didn't go, but I had some health issues going on. I had some issues with taxes, all kinds of things that I didn't reveal all of it. So that didn't bode well for me. But anyway, I don't know if that's what it's like going into service and coming out. It sounds like it's gotten a little better then.
Actually, it's gotten a lot better, because they actually now have programs and systems in place so that when you're actually getting ready to go out of the military, when I come back, and I was on 9/11, we were still on some 9/11 stuff when I came back. I mean, because it lasted long past.
Oh, sure. Just because it was 2001, the fallout. I think we're still having to deal with that.
I got off the plane. I had a special security clearance, because obviously I'd have to be, because of being around the president and all that stuff and all the stuff that goes on. The very next day, I had to come. This is just after a full mission. Come in, give them my security clearance, and then do some out processing there, and then go to the base.
What do they call that? Debriefing or something like that?
Yeah, and it was 2 weeks. I was totally out after being in for 22 years active. So without anything to really set you up. Now, we did have the college opportunities and all that stuff, and being in the Air Force at the time. I'm not sure if they still have the program or not, but it was a community college of the Air Force. All our classes were college accredited. So I had
nice.
I
think that's still going. I'm pretty sure you can get credit for what, like you were working as the mechanic. I think you get credit.
Yeah, they can. And actually, A&P, when I got out, I went and took the A&P test and realized I was tired of working on airplanes. I was coming from big airplanes. I was going to have to start working on prop jobs, small little airplanes. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do this.
Well, I just want to, for everybody who might be just tuning in, we're talking with Robert and Teresa Phillips from Be a Hero to a Hero.
Yes.
And right now you're in the, what do we call it?
It's called Operation Gift a Vet. And we are looking for help.
Got it. And so that's, we were just telling a little story about you again, Robert, how what happens after you're in there. But I mean, are you guys looking to get people to join the organization to help load the stocking and stuff? What's the plan?
Yes, we do. We need that to help. Actually, we need, of course, we need donations. Always need donations, money wise and everything, because an operation like that, or what we do, it costs. We got our whole basement of our church is full of just Be a Hero. So there is space right there. Now, if we didn't have this particular facility, where would we be storing it? We'd have to pay for it somewhere.
It would be in our garage.
Interesting.
In our garage. So there's a lot of outgoing expenses, and if you ever done the websites, you know that websites cost money.
Yes. Yeah, I just experienced redoing mine, and I got a deal for a couple thousand. I know.
Yeah,
I was
couple thousand.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of coding and stuff, but again, for a charity, I thought they give it a charity rate, no?
Oh, no.
No charity rates?
No.
Okay. Well, is this organization, you are able to get the advantages of not have to pay income taxes and all that on it, corporate taxes, right? It's a 501c3 kind of deal.
It is a 501c3. It's a missionary outreach. it's not just an organization. It's also it's a ministry, missionary outreach.
All right.
And we are under the Independent Assemblies of God International, of which I'm the Midwest Regional Director of.
Oh,
And
so it
so-
has like a separate. It's
It's own.
it's not even. It's separate from a charity. Even it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a ministry, missionary outreach.
I still
Okay.
have to file who your board of directors
Yeah.
are every year, and
We
we
have to
still have to
file
pay
every year.
taxes once a year too.
Oh, you do.
And 1199, I think, is called.
Yeah, something like that.
I forget.
911 or
I forget
911,
what it's
something like that.
Oh, okay. That,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's different from a 501c3. I thought they don't pay any kind of property tax, income tax. I thought they're tax free.
Well,
Maybe not.
It is that, but the thing is, you still have to file taxes.
You don't
Oh.
file taxes. You have to file the form stating that you're still in
Still in
operation
operation.
and what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Oh, that's like filing some paperwork
so-
for
Yeah,
it.
It looks
is
like
paperwork.
it looks like a tax form.
It
Yeah.
is paperwork.
That
We're
makes
really
sense.
grateful for our church. You know, not many churches would say, "Hey, we're going to take this on," but it's Praise Ministries Church in St. Charles, Illinois. They came on board, and I have to be honest with you, I was so shocked at what they did. We had an idea. We just had an idea, and the first year it was 28 stockings. The second year, we had been on Facebook and we had talked about what an honor it was to give back to these guys. Well, we said, then we found out that there was a major breach of help in a place called, in a place in Kentucky. I don't want to give the community. And we said, what do they need? And they said, we have nothing for the women. We have nothing for the men. We have nothing. The homeless, the shelters had nothing. And so we just kind of put it on Facebook. And said,
Nothing meaning like no food.
they didn't
no-
have food. They didn't have toiletries. They didn't have anything for this one area. And, that was only 9 hours from here. And so we put it on Facebook. And the next thing you know, within a month, we had filled an 18-wheeler
That's a 3-foot
and got
trailer.
a hold of Ryder Truck Company.
Snyder.
Or Snyder, you're right.
Snyder, Ryder, close enough, right?
Well, no, because they wouldn't say that. But they had a driver, and we were supposed to pay him X amount of dollars. And he got there, and everything was being filled up, and he said, where are you going? And we told him where we were going. And we got to the hotel, and they said, why are you people here? And we said, we heard about your homeless shelter, and we came to help. And they said, nobody has ever come to help in this neck of the woods.
And you brought a truck.
And we're talking about such a neck of the woods that nobody was in that neck of the woods. I mean, women did not have undergarments. They had nothing. And we came in.
Is this a rural area of Kentucky?
Very.
Oh, okay.
And so we came in and we went up this real steep hill with this truck. We
backed it.
barely made it. The
It was
guy
amazing.
backed it up the hill. And we started unloading.
Robert's laughing about how crazy it was to get it up the hill.
I was a truck driver for 20
Yeah.
years.
Oh, that's right. He was your other background.
It was simply amazing because people started coming out of the hills.
Wow.
And I mean, these people came out of the hills, and we.
Wait, there's movies about that. Like they're horror movies called The Hills Have Eyes is one of
It's
them.
not that. They came out of the woods. They came out, and this one woman, I'll never ever forget her.
They probably never saw a big truck like that pulling up the hill, is what it was.
And she, they were there, and we were just giving and giving, and they're going, "You can't give." I said, "This one's hungry. Give him. This one's cold. Give him a blanket." I mean, we had blankets, we had food, we had clothing, we had toys for children, and this one little kid said, "Could I possibly have a bear?"
Oh,
We gave him a teddy bear. He's never had a toy. He had never had a toy in his life.
oh my Lord!
Another woman came up.
Like the little Beanie Babies?
No, this was a teddy
Oh, you had actual.
We had
Okay, you didn't just have
actual
Beanie
teddy
Babies.
Yeah, that was kind of our jump start for Be a Hero too.
Yeah.
It was a part of Be a Hero.
was- it
One
was
of
a
our
real
big missions
kickoff.
that we actually did.
Oh,
Here's
before.
what happened
Okay.
was that a woman drove up and she said, "Could I possibly have a blanket? My husband's dying." And he was in the car.
Oh,
And so we covered him up with a blanket, and everybody started praying for everybody. I mean, people were coming
this was
out.
like one of the first missions you did. Is that what you
this
just
was our
said?
first mission,
One of the
and
first ones other
people
than
were
the-
like,
the-
"Can I
the
have prayer?
stockings."
Can I have prayer? Can I have prayer?" Everybody was praying, and then of course we were done, and we had given everything out, and found out that this, doing this, we had so many people on hand to help. And then we came back, and we were excited about it, and we got the lowdown from God, and He said, "I'm so proud that you did it, but I asked you to touch our veterans."
Or in the local.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so we honed it back, and we still gave to that homeless shelter for a couple of years, just out of Be a Hero, without publicizing it or anything. And we
Wonderful.
focused on veterans. And
So you aren't just in the Chicago area. Well, at least on that instance, you weren't.
no, we were done. We're done doing that now.
Oh, all right.
It's our focus is totally on the veteran, men and women veterans and their families.
So, okay, let's clarify. That was just, that's what you're saying. They weren't veterans.
It's a sidebar.
They were just people.
And
Just,
after we came back from that is then we did stockings.
I see. Okay. That makes
So
sense.
we
Yeah.
did stockings the first year, did that the second year, and still did stockings
That's
that
what I was
year.
telling them.
Oh,
And
got it.
And the Lord had told us, I told you veterans. So the goal is veterans, men, women, families.
So what you're saying is this has been like a spiritual mission
Very
for
much.
you.
Very
You
much.
were inspired to do it. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's right.
And your background, you said off the air, but now let's talk a little on the air about it. You after the Air Force, you were into trucking, I guess.
Yeah, I did trucking for I went to pharmacy school. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Okay.
Well, my last year in the Air Force, when I knew I was going to be getting out, I actually went to a pharmacy tech school because I was going to go be a pharmacist. I wanted to do that, so I tried it. It wasn't for me. And I passed the class. I took it.
That's a real switch from
Yeah,
dealing with the problems on the airplane.
And then I changed it back. I thought maybe I'd do airplanes again. And when I was telling you, I went to try to do my AMP test, and I decided that wasn't for me anymore. But yeah, I had my last 8 months. I took this course that was supposed to take 2 years. I finished the whole course in less than 6 months. So when I got out, I'd have something. I got hired right away by a store chain that's no longer in business anymore, and then
There's a lot of those.
yeah, and then my brother-in-law, which happens to be her cousin, sounds kind of odd, but anyway, my brother-in-law asked me if I would be interested in trucking because he had a couple trucks and he needs a driver. I said, well, yeah, and he had to train me, and I was fortunate enough that he was actually a certified trainer too.
Oh, that worked out. Well, back then they had all the gears too, right? It wasn't. I think they're all automatic now. I know they weren't back then.
Well, no, I'd rather have a 5 or a 10-speed anyway.
Really?
Yeah, 10-speed because automatics. There's a lot of things. They're good if you're like in the city, I guess, but they're also. It's just my opinion. They're
When you're backing up the hill in Kentucky, it was easier to have 10 gears.
Yeah, yes, or going down a hill. Actually, for slowing down and all that stuff, it's actually better to have that because automatic. You know how automatic transmission just kind of rev up. Even if you got it in first gear, it still kind of gains steam.
Yes.
And I did.
But not when you're shifting manually with a 10-speed for a truck.
Yeah, if you punch it down a gear, you're going to be actually slowing down. You're not going to be. There's not really a chance that you're going to be gaining.
Well, I know they have those hills like in Colorado and a lot of the mountainous areas. Nevada had them
Kentucky too.
where that's when you can't slow down. You're going up the hill
Right.
to stop.
Right.
That's not. Well, I guess it could be because you're going down. You can't stop. Right. And that was.
But see, that would be the flaw for me for like an automatic because it would actually because it's revving up and you're trying to go slow, you'd get your brakes hot, you'd lose your brakes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just not a big automatic fan. I mean, they've gotten a lot better from when they first came out. So I haven't driven one in an automatic 18-wheeler in probably 6 years.
But you are still driving trucks too, then?
No, I actually retired back in October.
Okay, so you're retired from. You're just doing the charity now. I got it.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
Okay, no, that sounds like it, right? No, I get that. I just,
She's doing it all.
I want to get all the stuff about the background because it's just an amazing thing that you guys are doing. It's wonderful that you're doing it here. I wish that we could make it national, but I think you need about 100 more people to help you with it. You know?
Yeah. Well, we actually do need people too because, like I said, the distribution. When it comes time to deliver them out, there's a lot of miles you got to cover.
But there's also some guidelines
Yep.
on delivering stockings.
Yep.
You've got number one, you got to have the heart for it, and be willing to see what you have to see. Number two, you have to be able to understand that some of these are veterans with PTSD, and some of them can't hear. Some of them,
Oh.
some of them are severely disabled. So you'll have to, we have to sit down with those that are distributing stockings so that they can get some guidelines on what they may encounter while delivering stockings. It's not just, hey, we're going to run out there and deliver a stocking. There's some things that you encounter. And
I never thought about that. You give them a little bit of counseling before they get out there to know
sometimes, yeah,
that,
and
you might be taken a little back when you see the conditions of some of the people that are sitting in a
that's
chair,
true.
right?
Yeah,
We
some
had
of the
one
facilities too, yeah.
man, we had a group with us, and we were at the hospital delivering stockings, and they said, please stay out the door. He's passing away. And I said, no, he's not. And they said, yes, he is. I said, well, I'm a pastor. Can I come in and pray for him? And they said, okay.
That's right.
So I grabbed Rob and I said, let's go, because he's also an ordained minister. I said, let's go. And so we went in there, and we didn't really pray. We just started singing because it was Christmas time. And we started singing Silent Night. And when we started singing Silent Night, the man opened his eyes and he grabbed the stocking.
Oh,
They started singing along with us.
so he was not as bad off as they thought,
No,
apparently.
he was not. And the next thing you know, our team was outside the door. And I said, hey, team, step right inside the door and let's all sing Amazing Grace together. And the man had the stocking and grabbed our hand and sang. He didn't sing it, but he was weak. But
He
while
was
we
humming
were
it along with it,
It
right?
was in his heart. I
Yeah.
mean, his heart was probably singing. But that man lived another couple years. And
No kidding.
so we've seen, we don't know. what
This
we're
doesn't
going
sound good for the healthcare system. Jeez. Well, now, that was not. I mean, they didn't have him in like hospice care. I hope it wasn't like
Yes,
that. They did.
He was passing away that day.
Oh, they thought he was literally passing
Yeah.
away. Oh my
Yeah.
God! I thought you were exaggerating a little bit.
Oh,
No. He was really
no.
in the
No,
state
They had
of
already came in and gave
expiring.
him last rites, and they were just
Holy
waiting
cow.
because they said he was passing away, and I'm like, I just can't let that go.
He must have been the kind of situation like you talked about earlier. Some people just don't have anybody,
Right.
so nobody to like
Well, the man he was talking
work
about
with, pray with, or
earlier,
whatever.
What was really interesting
Talk to.
about that man was that he would grab the Beanie Baby out of the stocking and he'd say, look, and sitting
Get
on
them
the
all lined
window,
up on his
he
window.
had them all lined up on the window,
The
all the
years we brought
Beanie
them,
Babies
yeah.
that he had been given over the years. And he
Oh.
said, these are my friends, and they're so happy to have a new friend every year when you come.
Wait, this is the same gentleman that?
This was another one.
Oh, another gentleman. Okay,
Yeah, this
I
was
want
the
to
one
make sure.
Robert was talking about before.
Oh,
And-
he had no people with him. I
Yeah,
got you.
and
But he had the
now-
Beanie Baby.
But the Beanie Babies were his friends.
Wow.
And he, I have a picture of him on on the website and on our Facebook page, Be a Hero to a Hero.
Where was he, by the way? What city was that?
That was in St. Charles, Illinois.
Oh, you've mentioned St. Charles. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was also in St.
No,
Charles.
that was in St. Charles. That was right down the street
yeah,
from our
okay.
church. And
Man.
then he's got, he's standing like with the Beanie Baby up by his face
yeah,
because he's
yeah.
so happy that he had a little
Yeah.
friend.
And how is he doing? He's still waiting for you guys to come this year?
I think he passed.
Oh, he did.
during
Oh,
COVID.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But you gave him such a great experience. That was so awesome. Again, now where do they find you? We got about another 6-7 minutes, but I want to make sure I get it all in. So
Be a hero to a hero.com or .net.
okay,
And Facebook, Be a Hero to a Hero charity for veterans. They can find us there.
I know I've shared the page a few times. I already mentioned you're going to be on and everything.
The
So
phone number.
yes, if there,
630-301-1741. Do not call. Please text.
just text. Say the number again, but text only.
Text only to 630-301-1741.
Excellent.
And if they do need a number in which to call someone, that is 630-377-5355.
Okay, so they got two numbers to call. One just text only, but the main thing, I bet a lot of people go to, if they want to help, they can just go to the website and the Facebook.
Yes.
Are you actively pursuing? We probably always are looking for people to come. Do they need to be like ordained or anything? It doesn't matter. Just have them maybe a little bit of
We've had
training.
people come all the way up from Indiana to help fill stockings.
But that's what I was going to say. A little training to kind of show them what to do or how to react to the patients when they go, the veterans.
When they go, if they're eligible to be able to be part of the delivery program, because not everybody can go out on Sunday. right after church or Sunday afternoon or whenever.
Well, let's talk about that. What do you mean eligible for the delivery program?
You have to be able to be there when we can go deliver. And some people can't, they work or whatever. But when it comes time for filling stockings, just get a hold of us because the dates will be posted on the website and on the Facebook page when we're filling stockings, and it takes a lot to fill 1,100 stockings.
I believe it. Here, I'm trying to get you to expand it. You need help getting to 1,100. That's awesome, though. I mean, after
time, because there's a process. You've got how you have to fill the stocking. What goes in the stocking? What's the last thing in the stocking? Because in order to get everything in the stocking,
It's got to go in a certain way.
it's got to go in a certain way to get it to fit all in.
what kind of stocking? I'm picturing like the ones you put up on the
They are.
fireplace, like the little, it's like cotton or whatever. But they must be bigger.
They're 16 inches high.
Oh, okay.
And inside the stocking goes 2 pairs of socks, a T-shirt, toiletries, and a Beanie Baby. And if we have extra socks, like we have been really grateful the last couple of years of some people donating Bomba socks, then they get those too.
Bomba socks are the one. Don't they help with like
Yeah, if
circulation or
you buy
something?
one, they donate one.
Oh, that okay.
And so we have been really, really honored that people have come to us and given us Bomba socks. And
What about
sometimes
underwear? You didn't mention underwear.
we don't
No.
do those.
Okay.
But we do. If we do collect it, we know where to send it.
Oh,
Yeah.
We have avenues of things that we can't put in the stockings. We cannot put in dental floss. But if we get dental floss, we know who can distribute the dental floss. Because it's,
hairbrushes. When you say toiletries, I think of like I've got like tweezers and hairbrushes.
we can't have that because those are considered weapons.
Oh,
So what?
razors too. Then no
Yes,
razors.
They're considered weapons.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Because they're in.
And we can't do food either.
No.
That was my next question. We didn't even talk about what's in there. Can you do food?
No,
No.
because of dietary reasons. That's the reason they told us.
I bet you when you get there, they're like, "What do you got for me to eat?"
Well, they would like that, but we can't do that because
Yeah.
these are medically confined veterans.
True,
Many
true.
of them have PTSD. Many have been through many campaigns. Many of them are very ill or they're just handicapped. From the
How
war.
did you get to the only? It's just because it's just the time constraint that you can only do about 1,100. I mean,
We
is it
can't-
possible this year you'll do 2,000? Or that's what I'm
We
wondering.
could if we have the numbers of facilities within our ability and what we have.
All right.
And
You
then
can do
people to help
more by
deliver.
what you have more.
Yeah.
But if we don't have enough, we don't have enough. We fill until we're full.
Well, like you said, you need it,
Well, help
the bodies to help go too,
Help
right?
distribute, yes, because but
How are you doing it? Are you in the big semi or no? You're probably
I'm
in people's
actually in my
cars.
pickup truck.
I was going to say everybody's
I'm
got.
running around from,
Okay.
I load up 3 or 4 facilities, and then we go to them. Most of the time, we get to go to the veterans. That's the time constraining part when you go to a home. Sometimes we just take them into their what's it called?
Like a receiving area for it or something?
No.
Door drops. We do door drops.
No,
we
no.
do.
Yeah, that
but
too.
what we do need, and if I may say this on air, we're looking for places where people will be willing to have a drop box so
Oh.
that their employees or their friends can bring to that drop box T-shirts, socks, travel-sized toiletries, toothpaste, toothbrushes.
So kind of like the Salvation Army has those big.
Yeah.
They got a big setup. They got like a semi truck there sometimes
Yeah.
with the trailer. So you want
We
to try to do
people
something
that
smaller.
are willing to have a bin
Yeah.
and do a drop box and have people come by and drop it off. And in many cases, what people have done is that they have dropped off in envelopes, financial cards like Visa card or whatever. With that, we go get what
Whatever
we
we
don't
need.
I
have.
bet.
Yeah.
Then we go and I'm like, Robert, we're down.
need-
I need 200 socks.
Well, you know what? We
And
got
I
a
say,
couple
I got
minutes
the
left.
cards. Let's get them.
And that's great. We have a couple minutes left. We didn't talk about do you have fundraising events for this then, or is it just the network of people that have been helping out all put in?
That's what we've done so far, but in the process now, we have a friend that is coming alongside with Robert, and they are looking for a fundraiser. So
And,
they're working on it.
And actually, our VFW post and American Legion Post and AM Vets Post
And the auxiliary.
and the VVA. They all donate funds to in the auxiliary. So from this one little organizational group setting, we get funds from that. Our budget's
Zero.
zero.
Oh, all right.
I mean, we
What
really
goes
have
in,
nothing.
goes out.
Yeah, we don't usually have anything left at the end of the year, some years we've been able to pay for like gas for the people to go to the places, but. It just depends on how much donation comes in. That's why we never turn anything away, regardless of what it is. We will know where to take
We'll
it.
figure out where to put. That's
we
great.
don't want people's used clothing
You can't
because
have
the
anything
facilities won't
extravagant.
allow us to do that.
Oh, not use. It has to be new. That's the
It has to be brand
only
new.
specification.
And the
Yeah.
sizes of the T-shirts that we need are medium, large, and extra large.
So again, if they want to find you, we could go to your website, which again, say it again.
beahero.net or .com.
All right, great. And then, of course, their Facebook page. And then there's a couple numbers to call. And this way, we're hopefully we're going to share this on all the social media. It's on the radio station site. There's the podcast is on my website, which is mariojbell.com. So hopefully we'll get you some more money and people to help you for this year. Because, again, it's already going on. The drive is on, and the actual delivery date will be, you're saying, after Thanksgiving?
First Sunday after Thanksgiving is the first drop.
Well, this is such a great cause. I'm glad you came to talk about it. Thank you to Robert and Teresa
Thank
Phillips
you.
with
Thank you for
Be a Hero
listening.
to a Hero.
This
is
show made
great.
me cry.
Yeah,
You were pretty quiet considering you said you were.
she was listening very closely.
I was
Yeah.
listening to the stories. And
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing that you guys are doing. I'm glad we had you on. Thank you to Alan for mentioning it, and his wife Linda for mentioning that you guys are doing this. And now we'll, everybody else knows about it.
It's
So
an honor to have us.
thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for listening. And again, you can find us on the socials, on my site, mariojbell.com, of course, on WCPT's sites. So everybody take care, and until next time, you guys, stay safe out there, stay dry, because it's been
Bye.
kind of crazy weather. Bye, everybody.
Bye.